The next one in additional strikes is that of Shita Tzuki. Shita Tzuki, a short punch. From a karate perspective done straight, it also represents an uppercut or a rip. Placing the hand out in front, tucked just in front of the rib section, one fist distance in front of the body, and being flat, the palm stays upwards during this strike. As with all punching techniques, one hand goes in and the other hand goes out, and we extend the punch straight forwards. Taking care not to allow the punch to rise or to drop in its trajectory, we just come straight out to the target. Straight out to the target. Keep the elbows down and keep your shoulders relaxed. Slowly with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For more advanced technique, we allow the wrist to relax slightly and tighten through the end of the strike. This allows an upward movement of power and really allows you to tighten your body through the impact point. So to over-exaggerate, to demonstrate that, we allow the wrist to relax and tighten through the end of the technique. Relax, tighten. Relax, tighten. Relax, tighten. So the next part of our technique that we're going to develop is Empi Uchi. This is the elbow strikes. There are 3 primary distances in terms of karate training, which is long distance where we use our kicking, a middle distance where we use our punching, and a close in distance where you use elbows and you use knees, close in technique. With an elbow strike, the key is to hit with the hard part of the elbow. The front of the elbow here is devastatingly hard in terms of an impact point. And so your basic rising technique, ijiate, the rising elbow strike. We start with our hand at the side, and with all karate technique, we've got one hand going out and one hand coming back, which is the yin and the yang of the movement. We come straight forwards, lifting the elbow up to the strike zone. Once more, coming upwards, allow the wrist to rotate through its movement. So to break the technique down, we have the hand palm up on the side of the body. And as the arm rises up, you allow your wrist to rotate inwards, tightening the arm. By tightening the arm, you create no cushioning effect and you present the hard part of the elbow to strike with. The other hand coming downwards, nice and tight, and pushing the elbow backwards. It's a good idea with your returning hand, hikite, to think about striking somebody behind you with your elbow every time you move. This allows the elbow to come back nice and tightly and strongly and encourages clean technique. So with me now, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's important to remember that with an ijiate, an elbow, a rising elbow strike, the impact point is to the front of the body. We're allowing our elbow to come into the target, striking upwards hard. In the goju system, this is a low technique. It doesn't come up high, for the simple reason that if you rise your elbow up too high, you're disengaging your body and losing power through your core. So with the basic technique, practice coming up far enough so that you don't find your shoulder relaxing. From a health perspective, if you constantly extend the arm through its range, you'll tear the muscles that sit through the shoulder, the rotator cuff, and you'll create damage. So just bringing the arm up far enough to make it a good strike, nice and clean, and keep the timing of the arms together. So So the next technique I'd like to teach you in terms of our kihon, in terms of our basics, is that of a round elbow strike. So moving on with the theme of an elbow, this one, rather than rising up through the center line, comes around from the side. Once again, style dependent, there are various ways of doing this, so we're just going to give you the simple basics of it. Start by having the elbow up in front and the other hand back at the side, so both hands can move in unison. And with this technique, they simply follow a line around to the front. So both hands follow this line and bring the elbow tightly and smartly around about jaw level. Slowly extending the hands through, we drive one hand forwards and the other hand backwards. Try and keep the hands the same distance from each other as you move through the technique, and we rotate the arms to bring the elbow around. So slowly with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As with all techniques, the hips should be fairly loose. Don't overmuch worry about rotating your hips too far through the technique, but also don't try and keep your hips too still. You'll end up damaging your knees. So with all techniques, we should just allow the hips to be reasonably natural in terms of their position. Also remember that this is a circular strike. It's designed to come around in that horizontal arc to strike. Some styles like Muay Thai focus on a downward movement, slicing down through an opponent. But for the basic karate technique, just work on having the elbow come around and striking with the hard point of the elbow once again into the opponent's jaw, around to the front.